There's nothing like going to a dog park and seeing a dog that's fighting other dogs, and then the human being is like holding that dog after the fight, petting it and saying, "Don't do that. That's a really, like, what do you think that dog is?" You know, you're telling that dog to go do it again. You got to be clear with the animal. So that's kind of the advice that I would give.
Hey guys, this is Martin Wright from Argos Dog Training, and today we'll be looking at the actor Jon Bernthal. You know him from The Punisher, maybe from Walking Dead. He also has 2 pit bulls, which he's a very big advocate for, advocating for all pit bulls all around the world. So these are some of his ideas and some of his thoughts and some of the things that were collected on YouTube by Jon and my reaction to them. I hope you enjoyed this video. Here we go.
I know that you're passionate about shutting down fighting kennels and rescuing pit bulls like Bam Bam over here.
Yeah, little Bam Bam.
Do you have any words of wisdom for people who may have rescued during the pandemic but don't really know what they're doing?
Listen, look, I think like the pit bull, like the breed specific legislation is completely bonkers. I think, you know, the breed of your dog does not make that dog any more or less likely to be aggressive.
Okay, so yeah, we've definitely talked about this in some length on this channel. Made a video a little while ago talking about breeds and puppies and adopting a dog to the family. I definitely agree with Jon here and what he's saying. The breed of the dog does not make the dog good or bad. It is, a lot of the times, it is the things that we do with the dog that brings out certain characteristics that are naturally in the dog's breed, or that can, you know, hide certain characteristics that are naturally in the dog from their breed. All right, so Jon is right on point with that. I agree 100%.
I think, you know, the breed of your dog does not make that dog any more or less likely to be aggressive. What comes hand in hand with it is you do have a responsibility to train your dog.
We made a video about this concept as well, why we train dogs to begin with. Why do we get up in the morning and do that thing? Definitely it is our responsibility to train our dog. I cannot imagine the life a dog would have if it lives with people and people do not take the time to teach the dog. That's what training is. It's teaching them. It's teaching them our boundaries, our expectations. It's teaching them about our culture and our society. It's teaching them, you know, how to communicate, that we're paying attention, that we're trustworthy. All of that is what training is about. And if you're not doing it, and you're just letting your dog do whatever all the time, and you're not trying to communicate with them, then the real question is, why did you get a dog to begin with? I'm asking that honestly. Like, why did we get a dog? And by the way, everything is training. Every experience that the dog has is a training experience. We train our dogs to jump on the couch and not get off when we ask them to. We train our dogs to jump up on people when they come into the house, to nip at their sleeves, you know, to hold the leash in their mouth when you're walking them. That's all things that we are unintentionally training our dog to do. You know, what we have to do is we have to bring intention to what we're communicating to the dog, so that way we could communicate things that we agree with, rather than accidentally communicating or teaching the dog things that we do not agree with.
My dogs are on set with me. They come with me everywhere. I don't need leashes or collars. My dogs don't scare people. They're great around kids. They're upstanding members of the community.
All right. So Jon is able to bring his dogs everywhere, and I'm able to bring my dogs just about everywhere that they're allowed to go. And that does help fulfill their life. That comes from training and the way that we live with the dog. I encourage you guys to train. I encourage you guys to take your dogs with you places. That's going to give them socialization. It's going to teach them about the world. But don't take a dog that is not ready for those kind of environments. Let them build step by step. Let them grow step by step. In order to be able to create, to stretch or to grow the comfort zone, we have to go where the dog is uncomfortable. And we have to stay there long enough for the dog to become comfortable. When we do that, we grow our comfort zone, our dog's comfort zone. Of course, when we do that, new things become uncomfortable for the dog. We might notice that. So that is a continual process, you know, but the goal should be to be able to take your dog anywhere and know that your dog knows what your boundaries and expectations are for their behavior in any situation, and to feel really confident that your dog is going to behave in a way that's not going to be disruptive in any situation. That to me is one of the best benefits of having a dog, the fact that you can do that.
There's nothing like going to a dog park and seeing a dog that's fighting other dogs, and then the human being is like holding that dog after the fight, petting it and saying, don't do that, that's a really, really, but like, what do you think that dog is? You know, you're telling that dog to go do it again. You got to be clear with the animal. So that's kind of the advice that I would give.
All right, so dog parks, a lot of trainers do not agree with bringing the dog to the dog park. I don't agree with that. There's been much said about that, various places, and maybe even on my channel, this channel here. I don't want to go into that too much. Moving ahead to the spot where he starts to describe communication. That's what he's doing there. He's talking about how our behavior can be in conflict with our actions. Sorry, rephrase. Our behavior can be in conflict with the words that we're saying, not with our actions. Our actions are our behavior. So when the dog gets into a fight, and then we hug the dog and hold him close to us, a lot of dogs like that. Especially the way that he held his hand, where I could tell the dog's head was supposed to be here, and he was holding the dog like this. He was not like hugging the dog or making him face him. You could kind of tell from where he put his hand, you know, across the shoulder, onto the chest, you know, and petting the dog. Dogs like that. They are more attuned to our actions than they are to our words. They're more attuned to our intentions than they are to our words. It's our job to bring our words in line with our actions and our intentions. So if a dog likes to be hugged and I hug the dog directly after he fights another dog and I pet him, then what I'm doing is I'm rewarding that behavior. I'm guaranteeing that the dog will choose to do that behavior more, right? It doesn't matter what I say. If I say good dog or if I say bad dog, the dog doesn't understand necessarily that unless I have already preconditioned that, you know, language to the dog, unless the dog already has associations as to what that language means. But even then, with the adrenaline and everything going on in the dog, it's going to be really easier for them to key in on your actions and what you're doing than it is going to be for them to key in on what you are saying. You know, so that is a contradiction. It's a behavior that's inconsistent with what we want from the dog. Yeah, I agree a lot with Jon. I think Jon is an excellent owner, and I would love for Jon to be one of my clients because he has the right mindset.
Whenever I go to work, I drive, I don't fly, because I want to bring my dogs with me. I've got two wonderful Pitbulls named Boss and Venice. And,
I've seen pictures.
They
are strong-looking creatures.
They're beautiful.
Yeah,
they're sweethearts. And it's very important to me.
All right, so I wish I could bring my dogs with me a lot of places as well. Itty Bit, my little dog, one of the reasons I got her was because she would fit in a carrier, fit easily on a plane, and be comfortable with that. My Doberman and my mixed breed, Dee Bones and Mighty Bones, they are larger. They do not fit. Unfortunately, I don't have the time that Jon has to be able to drive across the country whenever I'm traveling across the country. But if I could, I would. But I can't. Don't cry for me, Argentina. It's all right.
To bring them with me everywhere, one, because I'm nothing without them, and...
All right, so I had to stop there because that comment, I'm nothing without them. Now, I love dogs, dogs love me, you know, I understand, you know, how we feel about our dogs, because I definitely have very strong feelings about my dog, but that comment, I am nothing without him, it's a little codependent, you know? We wanna work to be independent and be strong on our own, just like how we work to teach our dogs to be independent and to be strong on their own, you know? So that is something, I know it's just a passing comment, that Jon made, but that is something that if one of my clients said it, I would point it out that, you know, we want to be able to stand on our own 2 feet.
They're my best friends, but too, it's important for me to do whatever I can to sort of change the perception of pit bulls in this country. I think it's pretty sick and twisted how people feel about them a lot of the time. And my dogs are total sweethearts. And
Yeah, they seem like it.
They're wonderful.
Well, you know, I know this runs in your family. Your father is the chairman of the board of the Humane Society of the United States and an amazing guy.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you're a pit bull owner, then you are an ambassador for the breed. You know, if you're a pit bull owner, it should be important to you how people view the breed that you love. So once again, Jon is right on line here with what I would consider as good, straight thinking. Dogs being our friends is the #1 reason, you know, to get a dog. So yeah, I hope this is helpful for you. If you like what you see here today, definitely click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that way you get your notifications. Check the description below for Jon Bernthal's dogs' names and the links to our other social media outlets. Until next time, enjoy your day and enjoy your dog.